Good morning and happy Tuesday, everyone. I have a message for you. To pick up the camera, and I was fighting it and saying I got to do X, Y, Z, and God said you can still do that while you do what I'm telling you to do. So the same thing as I posted yesterday. We have to make sure we have an intimate connection with God. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, I'm walking in it right now. When you had an intimate connection with God, He will move mountains even harder for you. Like He will, when you had an intimate connection, and you will know that it's Him because of the things that you have prayed for and the things that you have asked Him to do. And I'm also going to say this, it won't be on your timing, but you will start to see that it is coming forth. You will start to see it, but you have to have that connection with God. And you have to lay everything at His feet. And when I say lay it at His feet, lay it at His feet. Like, release it. Don't say I'm laying it at His feet and then you're steady worrying and stressing about it. When you're saying you're laying it at His feet, you're praying over about that situation and you're leaving it there. You have to make sure that you are doing that. Y'all, I'm telling y'all what I know. I'm telling y'all what God is saying. God is talking to y'all. God is really speaking to us. And we have to make sure that we're listening to what He is saying. And we're allowing His will to be done in situations. And we're not trying to make it where it's done the way that we want it to be done. And God's timing is always the best timing. And we also have to remember that God's timing is always the best timing. We have to stop wanting it to be in our timing. That's not how it works. It's His timing. His will has to be done, not ours. And I'm saying all this to say, y'all, we have to do better when it comes to just giving our everyday life, everyday issues, every little thing. And when I say every little thing, I mean every little thing that we do, everything that we want to do, everything that we have desire to do. Y'all, it's the simplest thing for me. I tell God to be with me when I'm doing it. The simple things. I ask Him to be with me with everything that I do. Every little thing that I do, I'm saying, God, lead me to this. Help me do this when I'm doing my hair, when I'm cooking, when I'm driving, cover my car, cover every vehicle that's around me, Lord. Like, we have to be so intentional. And I'm telling you, God will move these mountains that you think cannot be moved. He definitely will. Like, I'm telling y'all, God is on me right now. He's on me. He's shaking up some things. He's breaking chains for me. But the only way these chains can be released is if you really are being intentional with your relationship with God, so you'll have clarity on what you need to do. And I'm just so serious. Before, I was trying to do everything the way that I wanted it to be done, and this is the way I wanted to look. I had to literally stop doing that and say, who does God want here? Who does God have for me? And that's what I had to start doing. I prayed people away that wasn't supposed to be away, and I was having people stay that wasn't supposed to stay. Or not. And the reason I'm saying that is because we can think one person is in our life for a certain reason, and it's literally not, I can't remember, really not the case. They could be in our life for something totally different. God could place one person in your life so you have access to another person that he's pulling you to. And what I mean by that, you can be somewhere and run into someone who knows someone that God needs you to build a connection with, that God needs you to see. Get somebody and say, oh no, this person is not for me, or this person, no. It's like you never know who God has in your presence to be able to give you something that He wants you to have. So we have to be very intentional with praying and asking God to send people, asking God to give us what we need, asking God to let his will be done. Like I am just so serious. That's how our lives is. And some people are just in our life for a season to help us grow like a flower. And we have to remember that and stop getting our feelings because people leave our lives or because something happens where they're no longer there. And we and everybody that you're not in a relationship with after so long, it doesn't have to be a negative ending. It could just be we've outgrown each other. It's no longer there. We don't serve a purpose for each other anymore. The purpose has been done. Life has taken its course. Relationship with God, and you just know, like, all of those things, you will just say, God, let your will be done, and you will literally let God's will be done, because we say that a lot of times and then we're standing in the way of his will being done because we see his will looking a different way. So we're standing in the way of his will being done, and then we're confused as to why mountains are not being moved and why chains are not being broken. But it's because we're standing in the way of them. We're not allowing God to do it the way that he desires to do it. You want him to do it the way that you want him to do it. And when it's not done your way, you're upset, but it ain't always the way we want it to look. And I'm telling y'all that because that's what I have experienced. That's what I have been experiencing since I've been growing my relationship with God. And I'm saying this because it's facts. It's what I have been experiencing since I've been growing my relationship with God. Even when that storm is clearing up and it's getting better, I still have to have an intimate relationship with God. And I think that's how a lot of people get confused. We stop having an intimate relationship with God. We stop going to him because, I have what I need now. No, it's ongoing. It's ongoing. It never ends. It never ends. Just like the Facebook that I talked about, like growth with God is never ending. Like, it's not like kindergarten where you go and you complete kindergarten and then, okay, now I never have to go to kindergarten again. You always have to go to God. You always have to go to God. You always have to grow with God. Every day you're growing more and more and more. And I think that's where a lot of us is losing that. And God is so good, y'all. You go to him and you lie things at his feet and you really surrender it you give it to him and you let it go. I'm telling you, he will shake things. He will start breaking those chains. But you have to lay it at his feet. You have to know that he has you covered. Y'all, you have to know that he has you covered and just know that he can fix anything. Like, stop all the God ain't working on my behalf. He's working for everybody else but me. No, he's working for you too. It's just, it probably doesn't look the way that you think it should look. We're giving up on God because he's not making things look the way that we want them to look. Like, it's so many things that I want in the moment, but I know it's not time because God has not gave it to me yet. So many things. And then when I don't have those things and I look back at some of the stuff that's going on and how things is happening, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, it's definitely not time for that. It's not time for that. I'm not ready. God still needs to grow me. He needs to strengthen me for this. He needs to give me knowledge for this. And like I said before, and he will place people in your life to help you with things that you didn't even know that you were struggling with. And we have to be able to receive someone's teaching when God sends them to us and make the corrections that's needed. Don't linger on it. Don't linger on it. Don't sit and say, I need to do this, I need to do that, or I don't have time to do this, I don't have time to do that. Like, right now, he told me to pick up the camera in this moment. And at first, I'm telling y'all, I was like, oh, I really don't have time. I don't know how I'm going to do that. I'm rushing. I'm already behind because I was doing X, Y, Z. And God said, what did you just say? What did you just tell me? You don't have time for what I'm telling you to do? No, ma'am. And I immediately dropped what I was doing. I apologize. I apologize to him because he's correct. No, you can do. I said, but and I'm telling y'all, this is exactly what I do. You know how to you better learn how to multitask. And that's what I did. Picked up the camera as I'm doing all of the other things that I have to do. Even if I don't, if I'm not intending to do, get ready with me or whatever, pick up the camera and do what I have to do. Like, I would never pick up the camera in this moment with my laundry basket right there with the clothes that I need to fold up. I need to clean off my dresser. But God told me to do it, and I am going to do what he is ordering me to do. So that's why I'm doing this. I'm doing this. And you know what pushed me closer to doing this more than anything? Because I see the works of him being done. So that just makes me say I got to go even harder for him because he's going even harder for me. Even when it doesn't look the way that I want it to look, you're still going hard for me.
And your word be my weapon against any attack that may come my way. Help me to walk in faith, knowing that you are with me wherever I go.
And that's the message. Like, stop being in your feelings because you think you know everything. And this is for everyone. It's so many people who think, oh, I can't learn from that person because I got more education, or I can't learn from this person because I've been doing this longer. I can't learn from this person because I'm older than this person. No, we can all learn from each other, and we have to be willing to do that. God places everyone in your life for a reason. And a lot of times it's because we can take things from each other. Your weaknesses can be someone else's strengths that you wouldn't even realize had strengths that you have weaknesses in. But it's about you going to God, praying to him, and surrendering to him, and allowing him to order your steps according to his will being done. That's what we have. I'm telling y'all. This is a struggle, but that's what life is. This is a perfect example of life. God giving you what you want, but you still may drop something and you might fall off the track, and it's all about picking it up and keep going and making sure you stay on track when things that's out of the norm may happen. Because this was out of the norm, me picking up this camera. Like, normally I'd be flowing real good. And now I'm not. I'm like all over the place. I still have flexi rides on this side, and I'm just all over the place. But God will be done in my life with every single thing. I will order my steps accordingly. I will do what he tells me to do at all times, what he instructs me to do. If it's clear what he needs from you, make sure that you're doing it and you're being obedient.
Prayers for protection and provision.
And when mountains and chains start to be broken, you need to give him all glory and honor. It's not you. It's not the person. It's not the company. It's not your supervisor. It's God. You have the job because of God. You have a paycheck because of God. You have a house because of God. You have a vehicle because of God. You have bus money because of God. You're staying in an apartment because of God. Everything is because of God. So we have to be grateful and lift him up when he gives us these things. Food in your house, shelter, all those things is because of God and no one else. Regardless of how you got it, at the end of the day, it came because of him and his glory and his honor. Someone will come. God will place people in your life to connect you with other people that is meant to be in your life to help you grow. But we have to make sure we have that intimate connection with God so we don't miss that. A lot of times we don't have that connection with God and we end up missing that. The people that's supposed to be in our life because we're looking at things the way we want to. And we cannot do that. Sometimes God will place people in the right place at the right time just to connect you to someone else. Again, sometimes God will place people in the right place in the right time to connect you with someone else. What I mean by that is I can go to visit a church. You're at this church and you visiting this church with your friend because it's your friend's church and you're just like, oh, she's like, I want you to come to my church, visit my church, this, that, and the other. And you're like, okay, I'll come. You go to the church and you're just going just to visit. But while at the church, you run into someone that you connect with instantly, a very spiritual person. You've been struggling about certain things, and while you and this person is talking, y'all have an instant connection. So y'all exchange numbers, y'all talk, y'all get to know each other, and you're thinking the purpose of your friend was to bring you spiritual growth. But actually your friend's purpose was to connect you with that other person in that church that they go to. Right? So their purpose for what they needed to do for you has been done. You thought it was the spiritual growth and they were going to help you grow. They was going to, give you the connection that you needed, whatever you needed help with. It was that, no, what they needed to do for you, what God appointed them to do was get you to the person that was going to do that. So when you walked into that church door, just with them saying, will you come visit my church? You went and visited the church and bam, there it is. That one person that is going to change everything that God has in store for you and make everything clear for you is someone you had no clue that you would ever meet, because we don't know who God is going to use to give us everything that we need to help us get everything that we need from him. I prayed and asked God to help me with certain things and place people in my life that could order my steps according to his will. Like, show me the path that I need to go down. Show me that I'm doing things correctly. And then also show me when I'm making mistakes. And praying about it. And that person was placed in my life because of other people, so it's been a journey and a process. But you also have to be open to them, to the correction that will be given to you as well. If you want God to grow you, he's going to correct you. And sometimes he will try to correct you on his own. And if you don't listen, but he knows you're trying, he may connect you with someone who can help you hear and do his will the way he wants it to be done. But you have to, and that's why I say you have to have that intimate relationship with God. You have to have that intimate relationship with God. So when you're praying to him and you're saying, I'm struggling with this, please give me the tools that I need. Please make this clear to me. It may be a person, it may be a video, it may be a word that you hear at church, but you have to have that intimate connection with God so things are clear. That's the message. It's not always going to look the way you want it to. It's not always going to look the way you desire it to. It's not always going to be easy. Most of the time it's going to come with doing hard work. Like, it's not easy, it's hard work. But as long as you're consistent and you have that intimate relationship with God and you allow God to order your steps according to the way he wants them to be ordered, and you pour into him at all times of the day, the night and the morning, trust me, he will shake some things for you. 8 o'clock. I've been up since 3:30 and it's been nothing but about God. Everybody have a blessed day. Remember, allow God to be your navigation to your life, and he will not steer you wrong. I love each and every one of you. And remember, if you're having a bad day, don't go messing up nobody else's. Do what you need to do to help your day get better. Pour into yourself. Listen to some positive affirmations. Open up your Bible. Listen to the word. Pour into you. Get yourself out of it. I love each and every one of you. Like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified to see what's up on my side.